It's a beautiful September morning here at Shangri-la with the mist shrouding the valley. The sun's just coming up over the mountain and reflecting on the water and also on the valley itself, but the mountain at the moment is still in shade. I took the last video of Shangri-la in May, end of May, and I thought it was worthwhile updating. So this is an update, just looking at the almonds which are ready for picking now. The squirrels managed to have a fair amount already, but the farmer's due to come and harvest very shortly. The almond crop seems to be quite heavy, which is nice, and I've also got a decent crop on other things. I'll just take you through to the olive tree. These aren't ready yet, these will be ready December time, but you can see the olives. Also got a lot of fruit on the strawberry trees. Again, these aren't ready yet, but they're starting to ripen. This tree down here has got orange and red ones, so the red ones are ripening, coming along very nice. Again, you can see that it's laden. With fruit. Another good crop I've had is the beans, which are nearly ready. Some of them lower down the valley are starting to fall off the trees, but these I think just need harvesting. And the next fruit that's going to be ready is the figs. Some are already ready, yep, but others are still growing and still yet to mature and then ripen. But figs should be okay from now till probably the end of November. As you can see, more almonds rather, just waiting to be picked. I still haven't got the new trees, so I think that's going to be an autumn stroke winter job. Fill these holes in. I'm now cemented in the door to the old bread oven, so I just now need to get the correct exterior coating here and finishing it off, which will also include putting a tiling surface here to enable food preparation to take place. I've also got these 3 steel posts which I'm going to put around this small little terrace, so that it gives a bit of an area to work in for food preparation. The next job inside the store is to put the mezzanine floor in, but at the moment I'm still waiting for the wood. I have got the props and the joists, but I haven't got the boarding, so that's the next thing to do. It'll be October, November time. What I'm trying to do here is now reinstate this banking and hopefully stabilize it, so when the big rains do come it won't wash all the soil away. That also includes this lower banking as well. And now that I've put a water pipe in, I can hose it and encourage the vegetation to grow. I will put in a proper irrigation pipe or pipe network in here, but at the moment I'm not quite sure what I want to grow, whether I want to grow grass or whether I want to grow shrubs which will cover the ground. Down here again, this obviously was a rockery. It has got some plants in it, but I want to see what's available this autumn and winter, and try and get that established with new plants. But at the moment I'm watering it, and some of the plants already there have started to grow again. As part of the irrigation scheme, I put in this pipe which goes right down to the end of the banking, which again I'll fix up with a proper irrigation pipe network, but this is the main feed pipe. So I'm hoping to be able to irrigate all this bank back through to the terrace. One of the winter jobs, one of the big winter jobs this year will be to dig out the trench to allow the water to get away, and as you can see, it's really silted up at the moment, so the whole thing, the whole length of it, as it goes round that corner and to the edge of the terrace where it funnels away, all that needs digging out and reinstating. I think I must have some of the fattest squirrels knocking around, because as you can see, they've had quite a few of my almonds, and there's the debris to prove it. But it's a small price to pay. Going back up, got a better view of the rock garden banking. There's a bit of reinstatement of the stones. Some of them have got water damage, or the land around them have got water damage, so they just need reseating. But I'm hoping that that's not a great amount of work to be done, just to make sure that it's safe and doesn't all go down into the trench once the big heavy rains come. Going back up to the sun terrace, all this is now, all the metalwork has now been rubbed down, and it's had an undercoat of primer coat and one top coat. It then started to get too hot because it was into June, so I decided that was a better job to finish during the winter. And once I've done the ironwork again, and I'm happy with the paint on that, I'll start with the orange and redo the brick and block work, the painting on that. A little job to be done whenever it's the right temperature is to put some rubberized paint, floor paint, on this channel, and I want to use these broken tiles to act as a floor on this channel, which currently is just dust and dirt, so it'll formalize it and make it into a banking. Additionally, I've taken a spur off, which you can see at the bottom of the shower room, and that is for irrigation purposes, solely for irrigation purposes. That pipe runs around the shower room. I haven't yet fitted the irrigation pipe itself. I've just put the main feed in, and you can see here that I've got two outlets, one for the top banking and the other for the lower banking. I've got some roses now growing in the small terraces. They're establishing themselves. At least two are doing okay. The third is a bit iffy at the moment, but I've got some decent growth on this one and also this one. The far one, there is some growth on it, but it's not as vigorous as these first two. I'm trying to encourage the native grass, again by irrigation through water, through a hose pipe, and it is growing, and again I'm just trying to see what there is there that I can encourage to grow. All this grass growing is really to try and stabilise this banking area. The banks have been let go, and so there's been soil erosion, as you can see. But if I can get the grass to grow, that'll help stop the soil erosion in the future. The water pipe comes from the shower room and exits firstly here to fill that tank, which predominantly supplies the house. I've put a feed into the house, which is the black pipe, and that goes into the house, into the new bathroom, which is here. And inside I've got a pump which then pumps the water out in these grey pipes through to the kitchen, which is here. So that's the inlet for the kitchen. I've put two pipes in, one for hot and one for cold. This blue pipe here is simply a waste. It's grey water which is coming from the wash basin in the bathroom, and I can use that for irrigation. I've recently had further deliveries of wood, so I would think I've got a winter and a half of wood now stored up and drying. These are the last three of the original 4 tanks that I bought. I still have one to fit, but I've fitted these 2 at the moment, and these are for irrigation. So I've got a pipe now running along here through to an outlet here, which I'm currently using with a hose pipe, but we'll have an irrigation system piped in permanently, so I could just switch the tap on and it will irrigate this top banking area. Again, just trying to encourage grass growth and whatever else there is native in there. There's all sorts of little things.